are very vocal. And if anything's told us, past told us anything, they cheer for whoever they want to cheer. There's none of this good guy, bad guy stuff. So they better get away from it. But what I'm trying to say is, there's no guarantee, no matter how smooth this goes into the pay-per-view itself, that you're gonna get the reaction you want. I mean, a lot of people, Matt, will definitely, especially the Canadian fans, they are going to remember what happened last time between these two and know how much it stunk. And I tell you this much, whoever's producing this match, whoever's booking this, they've got a huge responsibility on their shoulders, because they've got to get it right. They've got to get it really right. My only suggestion would be start fast. Don't mess about. Don't do the whole who's stronger business and test of strength and that sort of nonsense. Just get on with it fast, because I think the more time, the more dead air there is between them, the more time there's going to be for fans to start, doing whatever they want. Just quickly, Matt, do you think this is going to go on last? Is this going to be the main event itself? Because we've seen Brock headline SummerSlam with Randy Orton, and that was a match that was sort of booked as the blockbuster match. Do you see the same happening at Survivor Series at the moment?
I'd have to say yes, because most of the other main talent is booked in traditional Survivor Series matches.
Yeah.
And unless they have something huge up their sleeves for what these traditional Survivor Series matches could mean for each brand, then it really doesn't feel that important compared to Brock versus Goldberg.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. We have to. I mean, I don't know. I know for a fact both of them are not in the UK this week, so we're not going to have. You might have like a video package go up more than likely. Which, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind seeing a sit-down interview with Bill Goldberg and just trying to get some good stuff out of that. I think that has to be the better idea with this going into this match. Like, stop having them coming out and Heyman trying to do all he can to get heat. Just play some of these interviews, make it quite kind of serious, like a UFC type thing, and do it that way. Give some real reactions to this stuff, because I think it's going to be tough. I mean, I do think Goldberg last week he didn't get as bad as what people thought it was going to happen, but I really think that it's only going to be a matter of time. And the most time I'm interested, Matt, is the Raw that both Brock and Goldberg are on. I'm interested to see what reaction is going to happen then, because one without the other is one thing, but then if you get them both together, that could be the moment that WWE might fear coming out on this. But we'll wait and see to pass judgment. Matt, our traditional every week venture now goes to TNA. Afraid to bring this up again. It's always the same stories, unfortunately, folks. Anybody that actually enjoys the product, I do apologise, but this is just, sometimes it's just too much information to come out that I can't not talk about it, and I get emails asking me, what the hell's going on this time, and can you shed any light? And the latest thing now, Matt, there's loads of latest things. I mean, you don't know where to start on this sometimes, but Billy Corgan now, he wants his money back.
Yeah.
And, if Billy Corgan internally is doing this, you've got to wonder, what is this place like now, inside? What can the atmosphere be like currently? And not only that, I think it's worth mentioning that in the UK, TNA have lost their TV deal. I mean, that's going off at the back end of December. So that's gone. So everything that they did have going for them, which was most of the UK market, like they're huge over here. They get some pretty decent ratings. That's now obliterated. They haven't paid, and there's been problems with finances. I mean, business-wise, Matt, this is atrocious, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, these are the kind of fundamentals you can't let slip through your fingers. It was bad enough when they were letting top stars like AJ slip through their fingers, But if they're going to let crucial TV kind of deals just slip away like that, then you're in real trouble. It's almost getting to the point where you feel like they just don't care anymore. Like they're just living off of their life support and just thinking, well, we'll keep it going as long as we can, and we know it's going to die, so we'll just go with it. Let's not chuck any more money into it. This whole Billy Corgan thing, oh man, that's so up in the air, isn't it? I mean, I think he was waiting to be paid at some point, and then they didn't pay him, and he was being nice to them, giving them time, and it's just all got used against him in the end. So I can't blame the guy anymore if he's had enough. But that's another crucial thing they let slip through their fingers. This guy could have been their lifeline. He could have breathed new life into this company, but they just let that go as well.
Yeah, they're in a lot of problems. TNA owe a lot of money to a lot of different. Not just one thing, but all over the place. Loans that they've taken out. I mean, from what I was reading, Matt, it was down to Billy Corgan that Bound for Glory took place. Apparently, his funding kind of did that night. So, I mean, they're literally scraping by every week. I mean, I'm like you. I'm like, why not just give this up? I mean, if TNA are looking for a sale now, what on earth are they looking for? What kind of money? Who on earth is going to... First of all, who's going to be investing that at the moment? They've got all this debt, so you've got to take on all that. They're losing all their TV deals, so you're going to get nothing from there. The roster is well, it's okay, but it's not. They've lost most of the big stars. I mean, what is there to buy? Why would anybody, even WWE, what's the value in TNA other than the archive? That's the only thing they have that is worth selling is the video archive, and that's it. There's nothing else to be got at. So if I'm TNA, I would take the first offer that comes along that is half decent, because where can they go? I mean, honestly, I just don't know. The one thing I'll say about this, though, because people are saying, well, why for many years have they got by doing so well? And when I've done some research on this, I mean, I'm sure Matt knows the story as well. Dixie Carter, her family, Matt, pretty wealthy. And this was her sort of venture into sort of business of her own. She likes wrestling, lovely person and all, but they never ever turned a profit in every year that they run it. And the only reason they survived, which is of course the big company Panda, I believe that they're called, basically just kept funding them all the money. But what I'm trying to say is, if you was a business setting up as a business, you just wouldn't survive, because they've never turned a profit. They've never done anything from year to year. So it's never been the best anyway. And basically what's happened now is, I think whoever has just, got fed up with this. I mean, they've literally gone from the heights of Spike TV, which I think is probably one of their best times, and they were competing on the same night with Raw. They were doing pretty decent ratings. They were getting just under what SmackDown gets now, which is a hell of a lot, Mac, when you think about it as an alternative. Like, they had it. They really had it. And then all of a sudden, it's got to this. I mean, I just don't know how it's got to this point. But it has got to this point. And every week now we're just hearing more. I mean, I think the real bad thing about it, Matt, is it's just becoming embarrassing every time we read about this, and it just becomes a bit of we're laughing at it, because some of the stuff is just so stupid now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly personal, isn't it, as well? When you get stuff like Billy Corgan and stuff slating the company and that, this is supposed to be people who should be saying good things about your company. If they can't even find something good to say, then you're in real trouble. Yeah.
I mean, he's one of their biggest. Well, we thought he was going to be involved in it and doing the story writing. So, it is what it is. We have to see it. I mean, I can't imagine any good news at the minute for TNA. I just don't see where that's coming from currently with the way everything's set up. But I really do think that whoever does run it, even themselves, they need to just rebrand it, the whole thing, to get TNA. Because I think that reputation has been lost. I mean, I know you might say, well, there's a whole history there, but Matt, we've both spoke about this, and you can go back on our podcast from last year. TNA have never ever really stuck to one thing. They always change it very quickly, and it's kind of sad, because one of the best things that's happened to them has been this whole Broken Matt character, and it's actually got so much interest, not only from their own fans, but surprisingly from WWE fans. It's one of the few times that's happened, that fans now actually want to see Broken Matt in. But it's just come at the worst possible time, hasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, I mean,
to have
I've
this
been enjoying this product hugely lately, and I feel all their characters have grown quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I even like the way Drew Galloway's reinvented himself. I like all that as well, and he's made himself a top star down there, and of course EC3 and all these new kind of generation of superstars that they've sort of built up.
Yeah.
WWE also like discarding them, but then actually seeing the potential in them. That's what they did great, and it'd be a huge shame if they're just not going to be there to do this kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. So we have to wait and see where this leads to. Goodness knows where it does lead to. But Matt, I hope you're ready now because we're gonna hit the questions.
Oh yeah, always enjoy the questions.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of them. This is from Max first of all, and he's actually emailed in today. He says the real. And it's funny because this is why I mentioned about using Rusev. It's actually down to you, Max. This is what made me think this was a complete waste of time using him. Because Max emailed in earlier and he said, rather than use a great credible wrestler like Rusev, why didn't they throw down Braun Strowman and have Braun Strowman beating up Goldberg? I would like that more than seeing Goldberg get the upper hand. So Max is not a Goldberg fan for sure.
Yeah, no, I think that idea could have been terrific, really. I mean, especially if they brought down Braun Strowman and then they had to have people separate them, you know. Let's not just say they got beaten up. Let's just say that they didn't let the fight take place in the first place. That does make Braun Strowman look pretty strong.
Yeah. Thanks for your. I'll totally back with what Matt said there. Thanks for the question, Max. Next question now is from Julian X, and he's put side note. Did you guys in the UK see any of the World Series? Was really great. So let me just start with that. Matt, are you up on your baseball? Did you see any World Series at all?
No, I can't say I did see that. No.
Congratulations, I think, to the Cubs. I hope I got that right. Otherwise, I'm going to get a whole lot of hate here, aren't I? But yeah, I believe they won. I heard it was really good. To be honest, I've never sat and watched baseball. One, because in the UK, Matt, I think it's safe to say we don't really get an awful lot of exposure to.
It's quite hard to come by.
Baseball. Yeah,
I did look into going to one when I was out in New York once, but. I was looking into it, and I think it's kind of like our version of cricket. The games can go on quite a long time. Yeah.
Well, I heard in this one it went all the way to match 7, and it was apparently one of the best games in that match. Like that never normally happens that the last match is the best. But I think congratulations to the Cubs because I think it's the first time they won in like 100 and something years. So it's like such a big deal. And then I read somewhere, it might have been on Facebook, so don't take it as gospel, but. It was the 7th biggest gathering of all times of people in sports that ever crowded round after to winning that. So it was quite a big deal for them for sure. But that's where we were at. I definitely was hearing about it, but I didn't see any of it, I'm afraid, Julian. Anyway, his question is: do you think WWE have killed themselves in the pay-per-view business by including everything on WWE Network? Like my suggestion would have been all these brand only shows go on the network, but Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series are still pay-per-views. Your thoughts? So Matt, what do you think about that first and foremost? Yeah. So what do you think, Matt?
Well, yeah, that's an interesting idea, isn't it? I'm not going to presume that I know how to run the company better than the people in charge of WWE. If they think that putting on the big ones on the network will generate some interest, then that's up to them. But I can see where you're coming from because I think there is a possibility you could earn a lot more money doing that, couldn't you? Mm-hmm. That is where the money lies, isn't it? In WrestleMania, I mean, we were talking about it once, and they were charging up to $60 or something when they for WrestleMania. Yeah. So that must be crazy amounts of money. I can't see why they have suddenly turned their back on that. My only thinking is behind that they are really desperate for ratings on the network.
Yeah, actually too desperate, I think, in some cases. But I mean, as fans, of course, we're loving the network, because we know it's $9.99 as they keep saying, and It's that fixed rate every month, and it includes everything. It's just they're definitely. I mean,